What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Off the Top podcast. My name is Tom.
Collins,
Make sure you press subscribe. We're here every week, new episodes. We're covering a
Yep.
lot of good stuff today. We have the Apple Music top 100 albums of all time list to review and go over and kind of give our opinions on, give our snubs, albums that should have been on there, albums that should have been higher, lower, etc. Then we also have another publication, Spotify's list of the 100 greatest rap songs of the streaming era, I believe is what they
Yeah,
called it.
so I guess we're kind of seeing, in a sense, which major streaming platform has better music taste.
Exactly. So
Although they didn't do the same list, but get a sense of it.
it is interesting that they both put out these lists in the same week, but yeah, we're going to
Yeah.
cover the list, give our opinions. We got a few other random topics and news stories to cover throughout, and then at the end, we're reviewing 3 albums this week. We have the new Mach-Hommy album, the new Rhapsody album, and the new Vince Staples album. So stay tuned to the end. We'll review those, throw them on the tier list of the year. Man, this year
I'm
is
excited.
crazy though. The albums
It's insane.
every week.
It's insane.
Every week we have good albums to listen to.
I know. I feel like every week we come on here saying the same shit, like just gassing up how crazy this year is. But yeah, it really is.
It's
It
not
just
even
doesn't
over.
stop, dude. It doesn't stop.
And we have good ones that are on the horizon, like Eminem, JID, Kendrick. It's
And on a week we thought might be slow, Vince Staples drops. What the fuck? And it's,
Yeah. I
come
mean,
on, man.
his album was only announced 48 hours before it came out or
Yeah.
something. Like it wasn't
then-
even.
Yeah, and then we got some past ones that we're meaning to catch up on, but we don't want to get too far behind because then, fucking Eminem might drop next week, and then shit, we'll see.
No spoilers, but shout out Mach-Hommy. That album was fun
Yeah.
to listen to.
Yeah, we have a couple good albums here, couple. So
I'm excited.
excited.
But
Yeah,
first
hell
thing
yeah.
we got to do, we got to look at Apple Music's top 100 albums of all time and see how they did, see what's on here, see what's not on here specifically. Because that online has kind of been the topic of debate is more what's not on the list. Because there's 100 albums. It's a lot of albums. I get that you can't please everyone.
It's a lot of albums, but there's also a lot of great albums. There's more than 100 albums that can be argued for on to be put on this list. So,
and then we'll also have to give our opinion on what the number one is, what we would have made it, because I'm sure you have an idea of what you would have put at number one. I think I know probably what I would have put at number one. And what another thing I thought was interesting about it is there's artists on here twice. Kind of the ones you would expect, like the Beatles and Radiohead, etc.
I think there's only a couple.
I think Stevie Wonder's on here twice.
I know Radiohead.
Yeah, Radiohead, the Beatles for sure, because Revolver and Abbey Road are on here. But all right.
Yeah, but I think it was the first 50 or something. There was only one album per person, so everybody's like, okay, there's gonna be no doubles, and then they came out with. I think Radiohead was the first one that had 2 albums to make it on the list.
Probably.
But yeah, let's go over some of these hip hop albums.
I'm on the Apple Music website. This is kind of the setup that they have for it. It's kind of cool. You can see a preview of some of the albums.
Interesting, yeah.
This one right here, maybe a little controversial of a placement, as we'll see as we go. And I think if we just scroll, it kind of is set up nice where they just show all the albums on the screen. So number 100, Robin, Body Talk. That's a super influential album I've heard. I'm not really familiar with it, but I know people are mad about this one. But we're gonna kind of stick mainly to the hip hop. Obviously, Hotel California classic.
Fair enough.
Album. Yep. Everyone knows that.
Yep.
So the first one that was interesting is number 98, Astro
First
World,
hip hop.
Travis Scott.
We got the first hip hop entry right here at 98.
Yeah.
You said, Travis Scott's Astro World. Go ahead. What do you think?
So, Astro World is interesting because I feel like a lot of people don't think this is Travis's best album. A lot of people would say Rodeo it was more envelope pushing, more new. It tried new things. It was his first project. It has so many good songs on it. I love Astro World though, but I'm surprised it's here.
Well, yeah, that might be true about Rodeo is more envelope pushing, like you said, it's more what's the word? Innovative, right? Trying new things. But I think Astro World was more impactful, you know what I'm saying? More
critically acclaimed too.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, more critically acclaimed, just overall might be the better album. So I'm not mad at this.
It also started. Maybe it didn't start, but it really like pushed forward this trend of beat switching. Like ever
Yeah,
since Sicko Mode, beat switching has been huge the last few years.
yeah,
Like
definitely,
people are
definitely.
trying to recreate Sicko Mode since Sicko Mode came out. Well, you've seen it all over rap music.
Yeah, and that's not the only thing that this album has influenced. You know what I'm saying? Just the sound. The
Yeah,
sound alone, has infiltrated the fucking mainstream airwaves. So I'm not
and
mad at that one.
overall, I would agree though that this is Travis's most fully thought out, put together like album. Like it's a listening experience. Like this
Yeah,
is a good
definitely.
album.
I mean, that's the album that made Travis a superstar, really.
Yeah,
So you can't be
it's a
mad
great
at it.
album. It's
Of
good.
course, of
I
course.
do like it a lot. I'm not mad at the pick. I was surprised it was there though, honestly.
Yeah, you kind of
All
get
right,
a sense though.
97, Rage Against the Machine,
Shout out.
self-titled,
Yep.
Pure Heroin by Lord, Usher,
Hey,
Confessions,
let's
shout
go.
out to the GOAT.
Yep, maybe the best R&B album of all time for me. Like my personal favorite. I
It's
mean,
probably my
well,
personal favorite.
I don't know. There's a few up there for me, but like shout out. I mean, iconic album for sure.
Top 5 R&B album for me. It's
Yeah,
up
for
there.
it's
There's so
iconic.
many hits on there. Uh
I'm
Burial,
unfamiliar.
Untrue, not familiar. There is stuff. I mean, like, yeah, we're hip hop focused, so there's
Solange.
gonna be Solange. This is like a new school modern pop R&B album. So people were honestly kind of surprised to see this here, because that's something that we'll talk about as we go through. This is like there's a lot of modern pop on here for some
Yeah,
reason. Like within
yeah,
the last 5 years, it's kind of crazy.
yeah.
Number 92 though, Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator. I thought Igor was considered his best album by like the masses.
Yeah, it is. It is, but I mean, again, this is kind of the same situation with like a Flower Boy or not a rodeo Asherwood situation. Is like, fans might think that um Flower Boy is better.
Then Igor, is that what we're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, but
Yeah,
this is like a reverse flip situation. Um, but
because I got
Igor,
Goblin personally.
yeah, well, you're one of the very few, I would
I
say.
want Goblin on this
Yeah,
list, bro.
right. But yeah, that's the thing. They put the less critically acclaimed album on this. It's not that it's not held to a high regard. It definitely is. This is Tyler's kind of like coming of age project, if you will. It's his like really. It's where you see him evolve into the artist that he is now.
Yeah,
From say a Goblin, like one of your favorites, to an Igor, Call Me If You Get Lost. So
because
I'm not mad at this.
it was Goblin, then Wolf, then Cherry Bomb, then Flower Boy was his first in this new direction,
Believe
right?
so.
And then Igor, and then Call Me
Yeah,
If You Get Lost.
I believe
I
that's right.
good.
Yeah.
His discography is good.
Yeah, it's great, dude. And I mean, obviously, we're more fans of the early stuff just because that's what we grew up on. But it is what it
I
is.
have nostalgia with the old OF
I
shit.
mean, it might be objective. Like his new music is objectively better. We'll just say that.
Yeah, it is. Like Flower Boy's better than Goblin, but I want
Yeah,
Goblin on the
yeah,
list.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
if I
yeah.
would have saw Goblin get posted on this list, I would have shit myself.
Dude, I would be happy because I'd be like, all right, this is gonna be an
They
interesting list
they slid, yeah.
to say
Okay,
the
Goblin.
least. Yeah, shit. But shout out
Um,
Tyler, man, making top
George
100.
Michael, not really familiar. See a lot of the oldie stuff. I mean, Back in Black, AC/DC bangers
Bro,
on
this is
here.
this is not we're not even a year into this music shit really deep. Like, give us a break, all right? Come on now.
Yeah, and like we know all the songs from these albums, but I've never like really went through and listened to AC/DC
No,
albums
dude,
like front to back, like
never,
listening through a discography like I would with a rapper or something.
never. I haven't
But I
even
know
really
tons
done
of
that till
AC/DC
recently.
songs.
So like, it just is what it is.
89, Lady Gaga, The Fame Monster.
Shout out.
This is a good pop album. I love this album actually. If you go through the track list, like
This is the joint with Poker
Poker Face
Face.
and all those, yeah.
Yeah,
Like this is like
yeah,
prime Lady Gaga. Like
yeah.
every song on this album is basically a banger. And
All
I thought
right.
it was interesting that this is the first time you see a deluxe edition pop up too. Like we're doing
Okay.
deluxes and stuff, which I thought was kind of
That
weird.
makes sense. Well, it makes sense.
I guess, but
Why not?
if you needed the deluxe to make it a top 100 album, is it a top 100 album?
Sure.
I guess. I don't know. I was kind of torn about that.
Everybody has a chance to make a deluxe. I mean, it's not doesn't exclude you. I mean,
I'm curious
everybody can
what
make a
songs were
deluxe.
on the deluxe and which ones weren't.
Yeah,
Like, did that
I'm not
really
sure.
make it?
Well,
Is
what if
that what
Poker
pushed it
Face
over
was
the
on the
edge?
deluxe and or not? Then it
Right.
would.
Yeah. There's no way. That was like the lead single though.
But think about it, like a relapse refill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's on here.
that
Stay
that
tuned.
that completely. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's keep moving.
All right. We got Nina Simone. I put a spell on you. Massive Attack. Blue Lines.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige.
Shout
My
out.
Life. Shout out Mary J. Blige. Come
Yep.
on the show. Casey Musgraves. Golden Hour.
Yep.
Doggy Style. Snoop Dogg.
Our next.
Classic rap album.
Yeah, so like one of the more iconic West Coast albums, my favorite. I mean, it's Snoop Dogg's best piece of work. I think that's just.
I would agree.
I think that's universal thought. But one of my favorite rap songs of all time on it, "Murder Was the Case."
That's Snoop's
One of
best
the
song.
greatest songs of all time. I'll stand by that forever. One of the first uses of like the voice moderation, making his voice real deep to sound like the devil. So it's just
True.
iconic song and an iconic album. Again, I don't think I've listened to that album front to back, so I'll go back and listen to that. But it's just iconic, so I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I'm glad that made the list. That deserves to be on here.
Yeah.
We got Patti Smith, Horses. I'm not even really sure who that is. And then, boom, another hip hop album right off the bat here. 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. I mean, a lot of people don't think this is 50 Cent's best album. I disagree. I love this
What?
album. A lot of people think his album after this was better. But, like,
I mean, it was good, but
this is an
what?
amazing album.
I don't
This-
think I ever heard that take.
If this was my personal top 100 albums, this is probably top 15.
Yeah, I mean, this is top 5, bro. We got Patiently Waiting with Eminem,
Banger.
Many Men, In the
Bang-
Club. That
Many
three track run right there. That's
Is PIMP
that's track
on here
3,
too?
4, and 5. Might be no. Oh yes, it
Oh.
is. I thought that was on the next one.
Candy
Yes,
Shop
it
on
is.
here too?
No, Candy Shop's on the next one. That's what it
Okay.
was.
Yeah.
But that 3-track run, 3, 4, 5, Patiently Waiting, Many Men, In the Club,
Imagine hearing that for the first time.
unmatchable.
In the
I
early
think
2000s.
it'll be unmatchable forever, probably. And this, obviously, one of the most impactful rap albums of all time. I mean, I said this in a tweet the other day. He had like Dollar General workers wearing bulletproof vests and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
The cover is so sick too.
it's I mean, maybe the most iconic cover
Yeah.
in hip hop. Once when you got it in the CD case, the plastic CD case, and it
So
looked
good.
shattered.
Yeah.
It was so dope. But I mean, yeah, like we said, this got just iconic songs. Patiently Waiting, Many Men, In the Club, Many Men, one of the
If you
best
ask
rap
me,
songs of all time.
I was just
And
gonna say, if you ask me what's the best hip hop song ever made, Many Men might be my answer.
This is the
Depending on the day you ask me.
second, I would say the second best debut hip hop album of all time behind Illmatic, in my opinion. So let's go.
81, Neil Young. Okay, another hip hop. Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP. That's on here. I thought that was interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
not really interesting. It deserves
So-
to be here, but this is the only time Eminem shows up on the list. He's not again later. This is the Eminem album that is on
This is
list.
where I started to get questionable, though, because you
Yeah.
can put Get Rich or Die Trying at 80, and I'm like, okay, well,
We're doing
it's
all
more like
genres.
it's.
You know.
I know we're doing all genres, but even in all genres, it's probably more like top 60, really, if you think about it, because it's one of the most influential and impactful albums of all time. Were you gonna say something?
Nope.
Okay, you raise your finger, but so you got that, and then you can kind of play that off like, okay, you can kind of write that one off, but then you see the Marshall Mathers LP come right after it, and you're like, okay, not that these albums are, well, I don't know. I just feel like they're not that close. You know what I'm saying? They're not that far away. They're two of the greatest rap albums of all time, right? Let's say that. But I mean, the Marshall Mathers LP for me is like top 5 hip hop albums ever. You know what I'm saying? Get Rich or Die Trying might be top 15, top 20. In this list might be top 60, top 50. You know what I'm saying? But this is where I started to get questionable about it, though, because I'm like, okay, this should definitely be higher, because if this is a top 5 hip hop album, in my opinion, of all time, and hip hop's like one of the biggest genres of all time, then it's getting a little iffy here. This is where it starts to get iffy.
Is this Eminem's best album?
I mean, yeah, people definitely say that, and I probably would say so too. If you go back and look at the track list, it probably is the most iconic. Let me pull it up. I mean, you
I
got shit
I
like.
just think I go Slim Shady LP over this. I do personally. I think.
I mean, personally, I would say so. I probably might say the same thing. You know, I might. Who, dude? I don't know. That's the thing about Eminem. For me, there's so many albums that are almost like on the same level. But on
That
this
three album
album,
run, all three of those albums should be here.
I mean,
Slim
on
Shady
this you got.
LP, Marshall Mathers LP, and Eminem Show should all
But
be on
listen,
this list.
as we talked about Rich or Die Trying having all these great songs, we got on here. We got Stan. We got The Way I Am. The Real Slim Shady. We got a Marshall Mathers. And then you go into some personal favorites like a Drug Ballad and Under the Influence. You got a Criminal on here. Like, dude, it's stacked. You know,
It's stacked.
this is like what again made Eminem a superstar. Went from Slim Shady LP kind of putting him on, and then he released a Marshall Mathers LP, made him superstar. One of my favorite rap albums of all time. It should be higher.
It should be higher. And
This
there
is
should
where
be
it gets
more
whacked.
Eminem. There should be more Eminem.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then this is the thing too, and I know this is one of his most critically acclaimed. It's like this and the Eminem Show. So I'm like, okay, if they're putting this here, it's gonna be tough to make another spot. You know, make another spot on here. But here we go.
yeah, man, I don't know how I feel about that one. And then you got like Lana Del Rey, Norman fucking Rockwell. That's like a 2015 modern indie pop album. So like that's a newer
Like,
album. There's
dude.
good songs on there. Like I like this album, but like that's not higher than the Marshall
Yeah,
Mathers.
I mean,
LP.
we can. I'll say that for another few albums. You know, I'm not gonna hate on Lana Del Rey. She's dope.
Elton John, this album has I mean, yeah, it's gonna be
Sure.
on the list.
Why not? Yeah.
Madonna, Like a Prayer, obviously
Sure.
that had to be
Why
on the
not?
list. I thought this was interesting though. The
I,
Bad Bunny album, like this came out in 2022.
I feel like it's interesting that people are hating on it that probably don't even speak Spanish. I mean, the entire album is probably in Spanish, so
I mean, it
you.
is.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I can't say anything about it. I don't understand the album.
But this is like, I feel like on this thing we didn't get like world music or international music. Like this is the only one. Why this one?
Is there not any more?
Not really. No, that's
Oh,
it.
interesting.
Basically.
I mean, Bad Bunny, shout out.
It's just like this album's 2 years old. It's the number
Yeah.
76 best album
Well,
of all time.
yeah, and this is where we're gonna start to go because in my like again, I'm not trying to hate, but like, is this really better than a Marshall Mathers LP?
No,
One of the greatest hip hop albums of all time?
it's not. I tell you that right now.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's not. Missy Elliott, Super
Shout out.
Duperfly. I'm glad that's on here. That's
Yep.
got. I mean, she was killing it on that album. 9 Inch Nails, The Downward Spiral, Not My Cup of Tea. Steely Dan, Asia, SZA, SOS. I kind of have a problem with this too, and I love SZA, but like
Again.
this shouldn't be here.
This is better than a Great Rich or Die Trying or an MMLP. I don't know. It's
It
great.
ain't, bro.
It's amazing. But as we go further into this list, you'll see that, you know, the people that made this list are it's more subjective, we'll say. You know what I'm saying? This list is definitely more subjective. It's more opinionated, this list is for sure. I mean,
I love this album, but no, Marshall Mathers LP is better. Like
like my
Astroworld
point is
might
if
even
you
be better.
pulled the entire earth, this would not be the results in my opinion. Obviously
No,
not.
that's what they should have done.
Right. Just pull the entire earth.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Twitter should send out a thing, and you have
Yeah.
to vote.
Now
And they
this is
could have
Apple
done this.
Music, but I mean we could maybe
They
eventually
could have
that'd be sick.
collabed. Or how about when you open Apple Music one day, you have to pick your top 10 favorite albums of all time or best albums of
But
all
that's
time.
yeah, that's kind of what this list ends up feeling like is like a mass like my favorite albums list. You know what I'm saying? For like
Yeah.
all artists, which is kind of crazy because you know not everybody has listened to all of these albums front to back and is able to review them in such a mega capacity. So I'm not gonna hate, but you know, in my opinion, again, MMLP should still be higher.
Kraftwerk, Straight Outta Compton, NWA.
Shout out.
I mean, that deserves to be on here. Of
course, one of the-
you know.
Probably well, I don't know.
You
You
can't
got
say
some
most
solo.
iconic rap album every time a rap album comes out. I thought you were gonna say that again.
Well, no,
One of the most iconic rap albums.
no,
of all
I was
time.
gonna say one of the best West Coast rap albums of all time, but Dr. Dre has some better solo work after you know NWA split up. So not quite up there, like not top 3 it might be top 3. I mean, I don't know. It's up there. So I'm not, shout out.
I feel like it's a
Obviously,
fair placement though.
super influential. Again, it's like one of the biggest West Coast albums of all time. So
Yeah, it's
can't hate on
yeah.
it.
Master of Puppets, Metallica,
I
obviously
like
number
that. Yeah.
69, nice. The Strokes, This Is It. Portishead, Dummy. I'm not even really familiar with them, honestly. The Smiths, The Queen Is Dead. De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising, hip
This
hop
is
album.
Yeah, this is one that I haven't listened to that I want to listen to now that I've seen it on this list. I really just haven't heard much about it. Like, I don't know. So I'm gonna go back and listen to this.
I mean, yeah, but since this list came out, like I've seen a lot of people talking about it, and people seem to be happy that this is on here,
Yeah.
getting the love. So
And I've obviously heard of De La Soul, but like it's not a name that comes up regularly to a point where you're like, okay, I gotta go listen.
yeah, so now we know we
Yep.
gotta review this album. Erica Badu, shout out. Jimi Hendrix, Are You
Should probably be
Experienced?
higher, right?
Which one?
Jimi Hendrix.
I'm surprised it's not higher.
Right.
Tupac, All Eyes on Me at 62. This might be the most iconic West Coast album of all time. Actually,
I mean,
though.
yeah. Yeah.
Like this might
I
be
don't know.
number one.
I would put 2001. I think I would take 2001 as the most. I don't know, or the Chronic.
I take
It's
2001
one of
over
those.
the Chronic person.
I mean, I think 2001 is the better album, but if we're talking more iconic, it's probably the Chronic. But I think 2001 is the better album. But
Yeah.
All Eyes on Me, obviously Tupac. What is third album? Fourth?
Yeah, third.
I think so.
Third, I think.
Double album. Obviously you got Ambitions as a Ride on here. You got. Let me pull up the track list. Ambitions as a Rider. You got Hearts of Men. You got California Love on here. Holla at Me. All Eyes on Me, obviously. Yeah, just some really great iconic tracks. Obviously, like you said, one of the most iconic West Coast albums. Again, we're gonna keep saying that because that's what these albums are.
Yeah,
But,
exactly. I was gonna say it's a top 100 list. They're all iconic.
If we talk about like best double albums, this is probably up there for sure. Is it better than like a Life After Death? I don't know. I think I prefer Life After Death. So if we don't end up seeing Life After Death on this list, which spoiler alert, we don't. I would put Life After Death here personally.
I'm with you. I agree. Sade, classic. This album bangs. I started playing a little bit of it after I saw it on here because I hadn't heard it all the way through, and like I liked what I heard. I didn't make it all the way through, but worth a listen if you haven't heard it. I like the vibes. The Velvet Underground and Nico, Arctic Monkeys, Oasis. Shout out the Brits. D'Angelo. I mean, that guy looks banging on that cover.
Yeah, that is. I was just say that's a dope cover for sure. I can see why it's top 100.
Rihanna, Anti.
Okay.
I mean,
I've seen people hating on this, but I'm not gonna hate on Rihanna. So
I don't remember which Rihanna tracks are actually on here, but I'm sure it's full of bangers.
Probably.
And
I don't
she's
really
the
know
queen,
either, to be honest.
So she's Rihanna. She gets to be on the list. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
John Coltrane, the Rolling Stones, Guns N' Roses, Prince. Prince is someone you see on here twice. Okay, that's one we didn't mention before. Kate Bush, U2, Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique, and then we got Drake's Take Care at 47. According to Apple Music, this is Drake's best album because this is the only time he appears on the list. In your opinion, is this Drake's best album? I'll start there.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Let's just keep it easy, bro. Hell yeah, fucking right. The motto, headlines, dude. This is my favorite.
Though, yeah.
This is my favorite Drake project. It's what put him on the map. This is like almost. This might be like the 47.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could. That's the thing. It can be lower. It's not better than a Get Rich or Die Trying. It's not better than an MMLP. It's not better than an All Eyes on Me. Probably even. You know what I'm saying?
No. But Drake has to be on here.
Of course. And this is the Drake album I would put on here, but it's just a little too high for me. But, I mean, if we want to talk about the album a little bit, you know, you got Drake coming in, you know, into the game, doing his iconic hook game on the motto, Samato. Hell Yeah, Fucking Right. Obviously, again, an
Classic.
iconic hook. Drake going crazy on Hell Yeah, Fucking Right, and Lil Wayne going crazy. Drake really at his peak rapping, in my opinion, too, at that time in his career. Like, he
Yeah.
spits crazy bars on there, and then he really, formulates his hook game there too. So, my favorite Drake album. So I'm not mad.
It might not be my personal favorite Drake album that I go to the most, but I have like a weird answer for that. Like I think Dark Lane Demo Tapes might be my favorite Drake album, just like song for song. I feel like every song on there is good, but I mean Take Care has to be on the list.
I mean,
If you're
dude,
gonna
yeah,
pick a
it's
Drake album.
I don't know.
Even
It's just
knowing that.
nostalgic for me, really.
Yeah,
At the
this
end of the
has to
day,
be here. It has
yeah,
to be there.
yeah.
I'm not mad at it. It could have been lower, which is interesting because we like Drake.
And that's the thing; it's nostalgic, but like I said, it's Drake in his peak rapping form, really, in my opinion. So,
But Marshall Mathers LP over Take Care.
oh,
Hot
dude,
take.
it's not, bro. It's not even. It's not a hot take, dude. Take Care is like
That's a
maybe
hot
top.
take.
Take Care is top third, like maybe top 50 hip hop albums. You know what I'm
I think
saying?
that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not a top 50 album of all time. No hate to Drake. It's just I don't think it is. But all right, shout out Drake.
Bob
Well,
Marley
I
and the
don't know.
Wailers.
All right,
Yes,
yeah,
you might want to take that back. I'll
yeah,
mute
all
that.
right, yeah. Just believe that.
And then we got a Bjork album coming up here.
York?
When this album got announced, I saw a video going viral of her beating up a paparazzi on a red carpet. So shout out to her
What?
from
Okay.
like years ago, like in the
Honestly, I
early
don't
two
even know who that
thousands.
is. I'm gonna be honest with you.
She's like a pop-ish star, kind of like
Okay.
a pop star from back in the early
Yeah.
2000s.
All
But
right. Cool.
she was cool. Stevie Wonder, he's on here
Shout out.
multiple times. This is the first time we see his name. And as you can tell, like going through, what makes this list interesting and fun to debate and talk about is that it is all genres.
Yeah.
Like you have Stevie Wonder next to Drake, next
Drake's
to
Take
Bjork.
Care. Yeah.
So it's just like a weird list. Like if
Yeah,
it
it's
was a
interesting.
whole hip hop list, I wish they would have done it by genre. Like, because then it would have been really fun for us to really dive into 100 rap albums.
Yeah.
But like, I think this makes it interesting. Like, where does Stevie Wonder's Inner Visions rate
Right.
with Take Care by Drake?
Right,
That came
that's
out
true.
40 years
Like,
later.
that's a good point. Like, how do you even really compare these albums? And that's like one thing that's like, obviously, this is going to be subjective to a point because a rap fan is going to rank albums higher, from rap artists than they would non-rap artists. It just is what it is. But, it's hard to be objective with these things. So,
That's why I'm cutting Apple a little bit of slack on the
yeah,
list, is
I'm
because
cutting them
we're
some
mixing
slack, but
genres. Because that
there's
makes it
some things that
impossible.
are universally like, okay, everybody agrees that this is better than this. We don't need to
Exactly.
play for
They
clicks
still
here.
fucked up, but I'll
Yeah.
give them some slack. Okay, number 43, Talking Heads, Remain in Light. Janet Jackson, Control, classic pop album,
Shout out.
obviously. Outcast, Aquemini.
So,
I believe that's how it's
Aquemini.
pronounced.
Aquemini.
Aquemini, but
Yeah, so
there you go.
this is, I mean, people think this is Outkast's best album. I haven't listened to this album front to back yet, so I ain't gonna say none. Obviously, Andre Three Stacks, one of the greatest to ever do it. Outkast, you know,
I'm glad they're
you
getting
can't be
love,
mad.
at
Yeah,
least.
exactly. So,
Even if maybe I personally would have picked another one of their albums,
and
like, I'm glad they're on the list.
yeah, and this is the thing about this list too. It's like, okay, now like I really want to go back and listen to these albums because these are albums that I already want to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much music that now I want to go back and listen to. You know what I'm saying? There's so much, but that's
I'm
up there.
trying, but there's
I'm
also
excited.
so much new music to
I'm
keep
excited.
up with. It's
Well,
like,
that's
how
the
do you...
thing.
Mhm.
That's the thing. We're trying to stay relevant at the same time too. So we'll get through this.
Number 40, Aretha Franklin. Shout out to the GOAT, the greatest voice of all time. Nas Illmatic at 39. Maybe the biggest snub of albums that made it on the list.
Bro.
There's albums that didn't make the list at all that should have, but out of the ones that did make the list, this is too low. Illmatic at 39, bro. Illmatic is a top 5 album of all time. No matter which way you slice it, it's top 5.
Is it not? I mean,
It's top 10. I'll give you top 10.
It's
you can put this at 8 or 9.
Listen, I'll argue why it's top 5. It's almost universally acclaimed as the best hip hop album ever to exist, right? It's
Yeah.
the best debut album by a rapper to ever exist. The album was made by a 17-year-old, released by a 17-year-old.
Yeah, so made by a
It's
16-year-old.
the most iconic rap album ever to exist. One of the more influential.
If
Maybe
not the most.
maybe not the most influential, but one of the more influential. And it just hit like I don't know how you could listen to it as a human and not feel like
This is the best album ever made.
this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like Nas is so great at like storytelling and setting the setting, like giving you the surroundings, his surroundings, and letting you feel like you're in the story while he's there talking about, his life in something like a New York State of Mind or a halftime, a represent, a fucking, like this album is perfect, bro. 10 tracks, no misses. It ain't hard to tell. Stop it. Like, this is top five album of all time.
I would have been okay with 8 or 9, but this is top 5.
And
This is
dude,
ridiculous.
we're ranking all albums of all time, and this is 6 spots from Take Care. No, it's
No.
not, dude.
No.
What are we talking about?
No.
Like,
And you know
bro,
what? There's an album coming up here right now that I'm about to show you that should not be above Illmatic on this list. Maybe
Like,
that's
what are we
controversial
talking
take,
about?
but okay. Number 38, we got Carole King, shout out. And then 37, Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. This is not better than Illmatic. It's not. It's great and iconic, and it should
Okay.
be on the list, but Illmatic should be higher than
Look,
this, bro.
I would agree. Because Illmatic's the best hip hop album probably to ever exist. There's one that might be there's one that might be favorite over for me, but we'll get to that later. But this album, I'm not gonna hate on. Obviously, it's like the best album to ever come up with like a rap group. Wu-Tang Clan doing their thing. Putting on for New York, doing their thing. They're like the best rap group to ever exist. Is the best album to come out of the best rap group to ever exist. So I'm not mad at it. I'm cool with it there. But again, I don't think it's personally better than Illmatic. And again, you could argue it's not even better than like a MMLP or Get
It's
Rich or
not.
Die Trying. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not mad at it. There's more albums on here that are more egregious than me.
Yeah.
To-
I'm
to
fine
me
with
than
this here, but Illmatic should jump 20 spots, then.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Number 36, Beyonce, self-titled. Okay, she's on here twice. This is the first time she pops up, not the last. The Clash, London Calling, lots of bangers on there actually. Public
Shout
Enemy,
out.
It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back.
This is one I want to go back to. Visit.
Radiohead, Kid A. This is the first time Radiohead pops up, not the last. Ready to Die, The Notorious B.I.G. at number 32. So
This is okay. There we go. No, bro. Again, this is too low, bro. Okay.
I agree, personally.
These are the 2 best hip hop albums to ever exist. Illmatic, Ready to Die are the 2 best hip hop albums to ever exist. You can argue with the fucking wall, bro. I do not care. Ready to Die, the concept, the most iconic and influential concept album, like the best concept album ever to come out, right? Made by one of the greatest rappers ever. That's name has lived beyond his life for 3 decades at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, what are we
30
talking
years.
about? This is his magnum opus,
Mm-hmm.
and he's lived, this long. This should be higher, bro. What are we
Where?
talking about, bro? This is my favorite rap album of all time.
So
I'll
where
go ahead
does
and
it
say
go
that.
on the top 100 albums all genres list?
I mean-
where should it be? Where would it be that you wouldn't be upset? Because
If
top
we're
20,
talking like
I'm not
objectively, okay, subjectively for me, this is 1. So like objectively, like this has to be like, I mean, I don't know,
mad. Top 20 at least.
right? It has to be.
I mean, it's only at 32. It's not a horrible placement, but it should be higher.
because I feel like
compared to what's coming up
in the
it's
hip
like,
hop
what?
space, maybe it's not held to like, you might have the Blueprint over it, or
I don't.
there's, or there's a few that could sneak in there, in the community, as a consensus. But for me, it's not close. Ready to Die is the greatest hip hop album of all time, and it's just disrespect, man. Like, go back and listen to it, bro. Every time Biggie spits, he's telling a story throughout the whole thing. Every track is a story. And you think it's like some bullshit ass story? No. It's him on the phone talking to his homie about how he's depressed and he's gonna, ending off with how he's depressed and he's going to shoot himself. But before that, he's on, he takes you through his whole life. You know what I'm saying? So you could even listen to it in reverse and it would be great even. So I don't know. It's crazy.
All right, well, we're getting toward the top here, so let's go. Alanis Morissette, shout out. Okay, this one, I have thoughts. Everyone has thoughts on this placement. Billie Eilish, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, at number 30. So my thoughts are, I don't have an issue with this being at 30 if you take about 6 other albums that are behind it and move them in front of it.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I love
this is
I
Billie's
like
debut
Billie Eilish.
album.
Billie Eilish
is her debut album.
She's my favorite.
This is the best debut album maybe of all time for a pop artist.
Sure. Yeah, you can argue that for sure. And I'm not even mad because she's my favorite pop artist maybe ever, bro. Right now, for sure. And this album is great. But
this album's
not,
a 10 out of 10, in my opinion.
It is not better than Illmatic, Ready to Die, MMLP.
Exactly.
Or Get Rich or Die Trying. It's just not.
Yeah.
The storytelling, the concepts, the lyricism, the time it took, the passion that went into these projects, I just feel like it's just on a different level than something like, When We All Fall Asleep. But I'm not trying to hate. It sounds like we're being haters, but like...
No, this album, though, specifically, she does have the passion and the storytelling and the writing in this. Like, this album, her last album, Happier Than Ever, does not touch this album. When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, is a perfect 10 out of 10 album.
This is the thing, though. Like, I don't know.
But Illmatic is Illmatic, dude.
This is what I'm saying. You listen to Illmatic, though, and he's taking you through the stories of him going through the streets of Queens, like, living his life, trying not to get shot on the street for doing the wrong thing and trying not to do this. And you listen to Biggie's songs and how he's telling a story every time he takes you through about how, some guys are trying to set him up, and they come and end up at his house and then he ends up shooting him at the end of the song. And it's like a whole complicated story of him waking up at the beginning of the day to killing somebody at the end of the song. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole story every time you listen to it.
I don't think people love storytelling a lot of the time in music.
But that's the thing. They make it in a way that it's consumable. They don't make it in a way that it's hard to understand. Like, they'll rap the words in an easy way for people to understand, like, what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should have some specific lyrics pulled up, but, like, go back and listen to, let me pull up this track list because there's really a lot. I mean, it starts with, the warning. You know what I'm saying? Like I was mentioning, they come into his house and he fucking ends up shooting them. A Juicy, where he, talks about him living the lavish life of, he's got everything you want, the chains, the girls, the drinks, everything. Everyday struggle. The name says for itself. Ends off with his suicidal thoughts about, him calling his friend about how he's depressed and he's going to... I don't know. I just feel like these albums are so intricate. Like, they're so put together in such a thoughtful way. It's just, they should be higher on this list.
Well, let's keep going. Tribe Called Quest, The Low End Theory. Shout out to the GOATs, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Of course that's on here. I mean, on t-shirts across America.
I was surprised it wasn't higher, to be honest.
Exactly, me too. Led Zeppelin 2. I'm not the biggest Led Zeppelin fan, but a lot of people don't think this is their best album, so there you go. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West. Maybe his most critically acclaimed album.
Oh, dude, 100%.
But not the best Kanye album.
No, no.
College Dropout should be on the list.
It's the most influential Kanye album. It's the most impactful Kanye album. 100%.
But College Dropout is better than MBDTF. Like, College Dropout, I would put higher on my own.
I don't know, because they're both really good. They're both amazing, but
Kanye should have 3 albums on this top 100 list, to be fair.
Probably 2 at least. Yeah, I mean, it's hard, right? Because there's a lot. But, again, while this is one of the most influential hip-hop albums of all time, for sure, changed the landscape, and probably top 3 albums of the 2000s, if not the best. You know what I'm saying? There's a few you could argue in there, but I mean, dude, what are we doing here? It's not better than Illmatic, dude. It's just not.
If you did this before Kanye was canceled, I think they put this top 10, though.
I don't think so. I don't
I
think
think
that
they would have.
matters. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think it matters. I
People love
honestly
that
hate. I
album.
think that's annoying as take. But all right, let's go.
I mean, dude, they would have put that higher. That's
How
like
do you
one of the
know?
most critically acclaimed rap albums of all time.
But how would they? No, bro. How would you say that? And then they put Illmatic at 60, bro.
Well,
How could
Illmatic
you
should
say
have
that?
been top 3 on this
Exactly. But
list.
how are you gonna say if he was canceled it would have been higher, bro? Nah, it was higher than Illmatic. How can it
Well,
get
yeah.
any higher, bro? Stop it.
I
That's a
think
dumbass take.
if Kanye wasn't hated right now, they would have
No,
put
it's a
that
bad
higher
take.
on the list.
Bad take. All right, let's
No,
go.
dude, they
That's a bad
definitely
take,
would have.
dude. It's
They
a horrible
would have.
take. Nobody gives a fuck. It's
You're
a
telling me
bad take.
Apple doesn't give a fuck about politics and
Ebro,
culture?
old man Ebro, gives a fuck about Kanye? No, old man Ebro don't give a fuck about what Kanye says.
I think they do at Apple,
No,
bro.
dude, stop. And then stop. They're gonna put Michael Jackson on this list. You're gonna talk about ethics. Come on, let's move the fuck on.
I mean, yeah, but that's been so long that people
Let's
have moved
move
on. The
on.
Kanye
Please.
shit is
It
fresh.
does
though.
not matter. They
I
put
think
it
so.
higher than the best rap albums of all time. It's not even top fucking 5.
I think 3 years ago they put that top.
It's
10.
not even top 5 rap albums. How are
I
you
agree.
mad?
I don't even think it's Kanye's best album. I don't think it's Kanye's
So
best
how are you
album
gonna?
at all.
All right.
I just think that's what Apple would have done. That's not what I would do.
How?
Because people fucking love that album. They're like
Okay.
dick riders about that album. If you
Yeah,
look up
people
any
on
top
Twitter.
10, top 100 albums list of all time, it's probably in the top 10.
Okay. Well, not this one.
Clearly. But Daft Punk, I'm glad they're on here. They got love. I mean, they're so influential. It's crazy. Like,
Shut up.
you don't realize it, but they're like so influential just in music in general.
That's
Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run, shout out. The Beatles, Revolver.
Is that their first appearance? Think so.
It is, but not the last. So they have 2 albums in the top 21. The Beach Boys, Pet Sounds. I'm not really familiar with this album, but I mean, I'm sure it's good. They're kind of like a rip-off Beatles, right? That's
Yeah.
a bad... People will be mad about that sentence, but... Dr. Dre, The Chronic at 19. See, I like 2001 better than The Chronic.
Yeah,
personally,
2001, I think objectively is the better album, but this album is more impactful, more influential. It's the start of Dre's solo career. You know what I'm saying? And you got Nothing But a G Thing. You got a high powered on here. You know what I'm saying? There's
I mean,
some
it
good-
makes sense to me.
Yeah, of course. Of course it does. You know what I'm
I
saying?
just like 2001 as a better album, I think.
But again, it's not better than these albums that I'm going to say every time, but it's just not.
Number
not gonna hate.
18. Number 18,
Okay,
maybe the most controversial album on the list. Taylor Swift's 1989. Taylor's version, deluxe edition.
So you're going to tell me this album is better than Illmatic, it's better than Ready to Die, it's better than MBDTF, it's better than
That's
the
what they're telling me.
Beatles, it's better than Marshall Mathers LP, it's better than Get Rich or Die Trying, it's better than Aquemini, it's better
See,
than...
this is politics, though. They're
Public
doing this because they
Enemy.
know Swifties will be mad and riot if
Dude,
she's not in
it's
the top 20.
fucking...
You
no
tell me
comment.
Apple doesn't
Let's
care
move
what
on.
people think?
This
That's
is
why this
bullshit.
is on here. This shouldn't even be in the top 100, bro.
This is just dumb.
The fact that this is 18 is ridiculous, dude.
Let's just
it's
move on.
crazy. Right before Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. Make that make sense. Joni Mitchell, Blue. Adele, 21.
I'm mad at that.
I love Adele and I
Yeah.
love this album, but I'm just surprised it's that high. I didn't know people loved it like
No,
that.
I kind of had a feeling it would be up there because I knew she was
That high
her.
though? I mean, dude, that album is full of great tracks, so I'm not mad at it. I didn't think people liked it like that. Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited, the only Bob Dylan album on the list, actually, surprisingly. Jay-Z, The Blueprint at number 13.
Yep.
Not as good as Illmatic, not as good as Ready to Die, not as good as
Any other take about
all
it?
the other ones. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. It's Jay-Z's best album. It's my favorite
Probably.
Jay-Z album. You got one of the best diss tracks of all time on it with Takeover. You got Jay-Z really doing crazy hooks with Girls, Girls, Girls. Song Cry, Renegade, one of the most iconic rap songs of all time. It's a great album, but again,
it should be like 70 though.
it's just not better than Illmatic. It's not better than Ready to Die. It's not, bro.
Yeah, it's not. It's just not. Number
Sorry.
12, OK Computer by Radiohead. If you look up basically any top 100 albums list, this is number 1 on almost all of them.
Really?
Like, this is the
Okay.
consensus best album of all time, I think, if you actually pulled the earth.
Okay.
I think this would come out number one. I see it on
You think
every
so?
list. I think so.
I don't know. That would be interesting. I wish we could pull the Earth because I would love to
Like
know.
if you go on like Pitchfork and Metacritic and like this is probably number one on
Realistically,
all their
don't you
lists.
think it would be like, I don't know, where does the majority of the population live in? Like Asia. So what do they listen to majorly over there?
BTS, dog.
So it's BTS is gonna win.
Probably.
So yeah.
But Radiohead close second.
All right.
Fleetwood Mac rumors at 11, getting a little bit of, country vibes in the list. No Johnny
Okay.
Cash on the list, which I thought was
That
surprising.
is kind of crazy. I didn't think about that, but yeah, good point.
There's like no country on the list, which I'm not mad at. I don't like country. I was
I mean,
just
Johnny
surprised
Cash
by
is
it.
the only country artist
That
deserving of
should
this
be.
list.
Yeah,
Fuck
but he's
that.
not here, which I thought was weird. Okay, we're at the top 10 now.
All right,
Beyonce Lemonade. I don't hate it, but I don't love it, really.
dude. It's whatever.
I don't
I'm
love
just gonna. I feel like I'm gonna have the same argument every time. But
I mean, yeah,
all right.
get over the Illmatic thing. We get it. That should be number
Just
two.
all. It's not even Illmatic. It's like MMLP at this point. But that I don't know. It's just it's gonna end up being biased. You know what I'm saying? So let's just go to the ones we like.
Nirvana, never mind. I thought they might put at number one, just to be uncontroversial. But
Yeah.
it's top 10.
I mean, yeah. You can't be mad at it.
Yeah. Back to Black, Amy Winehouse. Shout out to a legend. I mean,
You
I
think
think
that-
this deserves to be in the top 10.
You think Nevermind is the most iconic album of all time?
Cover, yeah. Most
Just like-
iconic album of all time, I think, is Illmatic, maybe.
You think, okay, you walk up to a person on the street, you say, name an album. What is
Thriller.
like,
Abbey Road. You
right?
know,
Like what?
Beatles,
okay.
Michael Jackson.
And those are the answers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably,
I was
but
just curious what you thought.
Nirvana, for people born after 1980, 1985, Nirvana, Nevermind might be it.
For the cover, I mean, definitely the cover. Definitely most
Yeah.
iconic cover. 100%.
Illmatic is the
without-
most name-dropped album in other music of all time.
Really?
Probably. How many
Oh.
people say Illmatic in their music? Every rapper in the world has name-dropped Illmatic, it seems like.
I
There's
don't
so many
know.
bars related to
Yeah,
that.
probably. Who knows?
But, it is what it is. But yeah, Amy Winehouse, glad she's here. She's a legend. Good Kid, Mad City at number 7. This is his highest placement. To Pimp a Butterfly, not on the list, which people... I think that was the one that the people were the most upset about online, is that T-Pab is not on this list anywhere.
Yeah.
And other people got 2 spots. If there
Yeah.
was one album per artist, it'd be like, okay, whatever. They picked this as the Kendrick album. But like Beyonce has 2 albums.
Yeah,
Other
so
people have 2
we'll
albums.
talk about some other snubs here after the list was done. But yeah, T-Pab did not make the list. GKMC did. And to be honest, I'm not mad at it. I prefer GKMC. Roast me in the comments. I don't know. Who is that a hot take? Who knows? Bitch,
I
don't
think
kill
it
my
is,
vibe.
but-
Money trees, poetic justice, mad city, swimming pools, black boy fly, backseat
I mean,
freestyle. Like, dude, it's crazy.
I
Sing
prefer
About Me,
this-
I'm Dying of Thirst. I didn't even name the best song on the album.
I
Fuck.
prefer this over T-Pab too, but they should both be on the top 100.
For sure.
Like,
For
even
sure.
if T-Pab was at 45 and this
For
was
sure.
at 7.
That
I'm
might
like,
be
okay.
the most. That's the most egregious snub of
Yeah.
the whole list, for sure.
It is. It
100%.
is.
100%.
Number 6, Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. I mean, this is just full of iconic songs that you've heard 1,000 times since you were born, if you're our age. So,
Sure.
of course, this is on the list. Blonde
This
by Frank
surprised
Ocean
me.
at number 5. I was surprised too. This is not number 5 of all time.
Like, this just came out. How long
probably
ago?
5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
6 years ago, something.
Not even. I think
I-
2020.
I like this album a lot, and I love Frank Ocean, but I like Channel Orange better than Blonde.
2016. Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, 10
Yeah.
years ago, 8 years
But
ago.
it's not number 5, bro. It's number
I thought
50,
it was-
maybe.
Damn, I thought it was like 2019. Okay.
No, this is an older
So
album.
it's been a minute.
It's not number 5 all time, though.
When? Okay, hold on then. When is Channel Orange?
2012? 14?
2012. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that was
Okay.
prime OF days. Earl
Yeah.
had just gotten back
Yeah.
because they did Super Rich Kids on that.
Yeah.
That was, I think, Earl's first song back. From
Super Rich
Samoa
Kids?
or wherever the fuck he was being held
Yeah,
captive
yeah,
for all
yeah,
those
yeah,
years.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
Super, I think
I remember
Super
that.
Rich Kids was the first free Earl song.
Was it?
Like,
Was
when he
it?
got back.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. That was
Super
like
rich kids. And wait.
banger. I like Channel Orange better than Blonde. I was surprised this was
Yeah.
this high.
Sure. But, again, it's like a Tyler situation with like a fucking Flower Boy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or Igor. It's like it's kind of what's rounding him into his career, I feel like.
I mean,
So
I knew people loved Blonde and it was critically acclaimed, but I was surprised to see it at 5. I was like, damn,
yeah.
5? Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Shout
shout
out
out.
Frank Ocean,
Yeah,
I
top
guess.
five.
Prince, Purple Rain, number 4, no surprise there. Number 3, The Beatles, Abbey Road. If I had to, like, I was going through some of the Beatles albums and looking at the actual track list to try to determine what would be my favorite, and I probably would pick Abbey Road over
I don't even
Revolver.
know, like
Those are my
let's
top
look.
2. Revolver and Abbey Road are my personal top 2 as well, just based on like hits, like greatest hits, and so I'm not
Come
surprised this is here.
together.
This might be the most iconic album cover of all time, maybe over Nirvana. Never mind.
Nah, Nirvana smokes it, but it is definitely up there.
This has been recreated by everyone though. Like everyone has this
Yeah,
photo.
just because you can't throw a baby in a pool.
I could. Yeah, good point. Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson's Thriller at number 2. I thought
Yeah.
this could be number 1 as well.
I thought it was going to be number one. Obviously, I mean, what do we have to say about it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean it's Michael Jackson's Thriller. Come on, it's the best selling album of all time. I think physical copies wise. And
Yeah,
then number 1, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, probably the most
honestly,
the most sampled rap album of all time. In future, like this is if you listen to The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill and then pick your favorite modern rap album, click a random track, there's probably a sample from this album on there. Like it's
Yes, sir.
actually crazy.
yes, sir.
I'm not mad at the pick. I'm surprised that they went number 1, and I am mad about it. I'm not mad that it's number 1. I'm upset that she has a new album coming out in 2 months, and it feels like propaganda, and I'm
2
being
months?
scammed. Yeah.
Were you here 2 months?
I mean, they're doing an album rollout for her. I don't know if there's an official
They're
date,
doing an
but
album rollout?
she has an album coming out in the next couple months.
Well, the only thing I heard about it is that she, like, somebody asked her and she was like, yeah. She kind of just, like, nodded him off, but that would be amazing.
Because I'm kind of buying into the conspiracy that they did this and she's going to do, like, her
As
album
a
as, like, an
rollout?
Apple Music exclusive album or something.
That would be crazy. But, again, this is one of them albums, like, what do you have to say about it? Arguably the greatest album of all time. Not mad at it at all.
It's a perfect
shout
album.
out. We made it. Hip hop made it. Hip
Number
hop
1,
made it.
baby.
We're number 1, baby. What did I tell you? It's the greatest fucking genre in the world.
And shout out women. Women on top.
Shout out women. I mean,
Shout
stop
out black
it, bro.
women, dog. Black
You
women
got
on top.
Lost ones. Forgive them, Father. Everything is everything. When it hurts so. Final hour. X Factor. To
X Factor
Zion.
is probably my favorite song on the album.
Dude, I mean, this album is just a perfect mixture of her flowing on beats and also having the greatest vocal performance to ever be laid on a hip hop album and it will never be touched. You know what I'm saying? Lauryn Hill's vocal performance on The Miseducation will never be touched on another hip hop album of all time. And on top of that, she might have done the best rapping by a woman artist ever on this album.
Never been top since.
Never been touched. Not by Nicki, not by Cardi, not by nobody. Not been touched by nobody.
Not Sexy Red even.
Not even Sexy Red. So, again, I'm not mad at this at all. Iconic album. This album inspired what we know hip hop is now. You know what I'm saying? Like the hooks, the R&B influence into hip hop is so heavy because of Lauryn Hill. And I mean, like you said, the samples are just insane. You got, I mean, the on a Kanye on a All Falls Down, for example,
That's
with
probably
Kanye.
my favorite one. Nice for What by Drake.
Yes, exactly. You know,
Everyone.
It goes on and on. You know what I'm saying? But those are some of the most iconic songs of all time on some of the most iconic rap albums by the most iconic rappers of all time. And if it wasn't for her, who knows if we would have those songs or those albums. You know what I'm saying? So
she's the GOAT.
They've come out and said, you know, a lot of the best rappers of all time have come out and said Lauryn Hill was one of my biggest influences, and she is one of the best rappers of all time. And I agree. And I think this arguably is the best album of all time, and I ain't even mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all.
All right, well, give me some album snubs that should have been on the top 100 list that were not there. Just give me a few that you got that should have been
Well,
on the list.
obviously T-Pab.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
yeah.
you
T-Pap should have
got
been on the list.
I think SSLP, Slim
Slim
Shady
Shady
LP
LP,
should have been on here.
100%.
Eminem Show should have been on here.
Yep,
Life After Death should have been on here. In
yep.
my opinion, I mean, I guess maybe not, but Lifestyle should have been on here. Poor and Dangerous, but that's more like a personal thing, I guess.
College
Um,
Dropout should have
yeah,
been on here.
College Dropout,
Carter 3.
Graduation, I
At
think should
least
have
the
been on.
Carter 3
This
should have been
this
on.
is my thing. The
No
biggest
Lil
snub
Wayne.
that was the biggest snub of the whole list. There's not one Lil Wayne album. You got me fucked up. The Carter 4 should be on this list 100%.
I mean, they're never going to put
Well,
the Carter 4 over the Carter 3. But
I know. That's the thing. They would never put the Carter 4 over the Carter 3. I prefer the Carter 4. I think it's a better album. The Carter 3, more influential, for sure. It's more iconic. Lollipop,
I mean,
a Milli,
Millie's on it. Yeah, you know.
and you got
Enough said.
Lollipop. Of course, dude.
Yeah.
You got arguably the greatest rap song ever to exist. Fucking a Milli. So,
Nas's It Was Written should be on here. Illmatic should be higher.
but bro, the Carter
mean-
3 is the big. It might be bigger snub than T-Pab. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
I might
But-
be with you because they still got a Kendrick album on there. And Question Mark by X should be on here before
I agree.
1989.
I agree. Question Mark by X could have been on here.
Like, it's the biggest streaming album of all time. He was like 18 years old. That album's perfect. Like, that should be on here
2001.
over Taylor Swift, bro.
2001 by Dr. Dre should be on here.
You could
There's
throw
a lot.
every Eminem album on this list over 1989.
Basically. But is there any more that I'm just like blanking on?
I mean, that's basically the ones that I had.
No
were,
J.
like,
Cole on here. You could have got fucking 2014 on here even.
I wouldn't have been surprised if they put that on there.
Yeah, like
But hip hop did get good representation, and I'm not upset
Yeah.
with that. At
No,
least
I'm not
they
mad.
had like 20 hip hop albums on here, and it wasn't all just like Michael Jackson and the Prince and the Beatles and Nirvana. Like, we got rap albums. Maybe there's albums that we love and that people that love rap love that weren't on here, but at least hip hop got the love overall, and a hip hop album was placed at number 1 by a black female specifically, which is just like badass. Like, shout out.
yeah.
So I give them some slack, but I mean, there's some albums that just should have been on the damn list. There's nothing
Yeah.
you can.
I mean,
like,
no Lil Wayne is just blasphemy.
you got to put a Carter on here.
Swimming by Mac Miller could have made it. I
I
think.
wouldn't have been surprised if that was here either. People love that, critically acclaimed and all that.
Yeah, there's a lot, dude. There's a lot.
Well, there you go. That's Apple Music's top 100 albums of all time. Let us know which albums that you thought were snubbed. What are your favorite albums that weren't here? What did you agree with? What did you disagree with? Let us know what's your number 1 album, because I'm sure not everyone agrees with The Miseducation. So let us know your favorite album of all time and show some love.
That was
There
not
you
meant to
have it.
be an in-depth segment even at all. And it lasted an hour.
Yeah.
Shit.
I told you it would be a long. I told
shut
you.
up.
I was like,
I
this is
didn't-
gonna be a long set.
I didn't have any notes or anything. I was just going. So,
Well, we have one more list here that I want to go. It's not as long. We're not doing a full 100 here, but I have the top 10 rap songs of the streaming era.
they made top 100 though.
Yeah, we're not
Let's
doing
just
all
scroll
100.
through it quick. We don't have to talk.
There's so
about it.
many.
Just scroll through it. I just want to see it. And then we'll
The
talk
whole
about the top
thing?
10. Yeah, we'll talk about the top 10. I just want to see them.
All right, well, this is Spotify's top 100. Was that you or me?
That was you.
Okay. This is Spotify's top 100 rap songs of the streaming era. So what did we decide that was? 2014 or something?
I think so, right? When
I think
Spotify dropped.
We kind of, yeah, exactly. So let's head to the top of the list here. I mean, there's so many. I don't want to scroll through all this, but
Just
Okay.
quickly.
Coi Leray,
Okay.
Fabio
You don't have to read
Foreign.
them. You don't even have to read them. Okay, got some Sexy Red.
I mean, that's insane, bro. Why is that on here?
Lil
I'm
Durk,
just looking
Lil
at the
Millie,
names
Denzel
mostly.
Curry, okay.
Young Thug, okay. Nicki, Mac Miller, Sweetie. I mean, see, this makes sense
There was
because
on
it's
there.
rap specific. Shuda, love that.
Self Care was on there and Below All My Life. Like, what are we talking about? That's just bad take.
Central C, Dark Knight, Dumbo. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good hot. I like that pick. I love that song. What's Poppin', Drowning, Pop Out, T-Shirt, Fuck Up Some Commas, Drip Too Hard, of course. Jimmy Cooks is way high on the list. Oh my god. I feel like that's too high. X, Butterfly Effect, The Baby, Gonna Fuck You Mean.
What?
Already
Fuck
up
you mean
there.
is not better than Drip Too Hard.
No, or Pop Out even.
That's some bullshit.
Okay, we're getting toward the top of the list
Freestyle?
here.
Okay, freestyle should be higher. Be honest.
Freestyle should be higher because that is Lil Baby's
Middle
like,
Child. Okay, that makes sense. Back to back. DNA. Okay,
yeah,
these make
back to
sense.
back Kendrick.
Rockstar.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting toward the top.
Black
We're gonna go through the
Beatles,
top 20.
Earthquake.
We're going to go top 20. So Fetty Wap, Trap King at 21, and number
Makes
20
sense.
is WAP.
Okay, move on. No comment.
Yeah. French Montana, Sway Lee, Unforgettable. I don't even know this song.
Okay, move on. No comment.
Lil Baby, 42 Dugg, We
Okay,
Hate It.
I like
18.
this song. Good
I
song.
like that
Is
song.
it top 20 song of the streaming
No.
era? Dude, no way. No
Kodak
Flocking is.
Black, No Flocking.
No Flocking
okay.
is top 20. I'll give it
Humble should probably be higher.
that. It's not one of my favorites, but yeah,
No,
one more
but it
iconic.
was so
sure.
big. The Box, that makes sense. That was
Stretch
so
My
big.
Hands. missed that one.
Goosebumps. Wait, which one?
You missed Father Stretch My Hands.
Oh shit! There you go. Father Stretch. That makes sense. That should be here.
Yeah.
Roddy Ricch, The Box, though. That was like number one. That was a huge song. That has
Yeah, that
to be
makes
on
sense.
your list.
Yep.
Goosebumps, huge. Mask Off, of course.
Probably should be number one.
What,
Jocelyn
Mask Off?
Flores. Yep. Yeah.
Jocelyn Flores, bang. Lucid Dreams, we're in the top 10. Juice WRLD, Lucid Dreams, of course. That has to be in your top 10 of
Yeah,
streaming
definitely.
era rap songs.
100%.
It has to be. Number 9, Pop Smoke, Dior.
Oh, yeah,
R.I.P.
dude.
to Pop Smoke. Legendary song. Like, so good. Sheck West, Mo Bamba.
Ooh, man, that could be number one.
You really think so? Damn.
No, I don't
Sicko
think
Mode.
it should be that high, to be honest.
Travis
Sicko
Scott,
Mode, nice,
Sicko Mode.
okay.
That could be number 1.
Yeah, maybe.
Bad and Bougie, that could be number 1. I mean, there's so many good ones. In
That's
the
the
top.
thing. We're like separating like hits from like actual good songs. So like,
yeah. March Madness, Above Mask Off, which is
yeah,
interesting.
I would probably do that. Yeah, it's the better song, I think.
Lil Uzi Vert, EXO Tour Life at
That
number
makes sense.
4.
That
That was
makes
so
sense.
big in the early streaming days. God's Plan, number 3 by Drake. My least favorite Drake song, probably. I hate
Plan.
that song. Cardi B, Bodak Yellow at number 2.
Dude, what are we talking about? What?
And number 1, the greatest hip-hop song of the streaming era, according to Spotify, is Kendrick Lamar's All Right.
We gonna be alright. I'm not mad at that, I guess.
It is an interesting...
That's a
pick,
weird
though.
ass list, dude. How are you
Like,
gonna have
what
Alright
is
at
that?
1 and then Bodak Yellow at 2? It just don't make
Yeah.
sense.
Like, I feel like Lucid Dreams should maybe even be number 1. Or, like, there's just so
EXO
many
Tour
other-
Life. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah. Man,
I mean,
there's-
I don't know. Are we talking about like best song, most impactful song? Because there's a lot since the stream era.
the streaming era has been so fun. I'm glad we're alive for the
Oh
streaming
yeah,
era.
dude.
I mean, music back then, you had to like wait months and months, and you had to go buy it. Like albums
Yep.
drop on Friday, we listen to all 3 albums by afternoon.
Yep.
Like I
Yep.
like it.
Hell
We're
yeah.
spoiled, and artists get paid shit, but like as a consumer,
yeah,
it's lit. It's dope. Okay. Well, there you go. Apple's top 100 albums of all
Yep.
time. Spotify's top 100 rap songs of all time in the streaming era. Now we got to review some albums from this week.
Oh, well, let's mention
Oh, yeah, we should mention. Go ahead.
Eminem
Yeah, exactly.
teased that he will be releasing either a single or his album May 31st, which is a week from the day of this recording. So by the next episode, we should have some new Eminem, possibly a new Eminem album. So stay tapped in for that. But for now, we're going to run through these ones.
If we get to review a new Eminem album next Friday, I'm going to be stoked. Like,
Dude.
I'm going to be
And here's
so
the thing.
happy.
Death is we talked about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we already reviewed the whole thing, the Death is Slim Shady, the lore that's coming up with it. So
Yeah.
stay tuned. That's going to be fun.
So which album do you want to cover first? So we have...
I think Rhapsody.
I was going to say we got Please Don't Cry by Rhapsody. We have Dark Times by Vince,
I know.
Vince Staples. And we have Rich Ass Haitian by Mach-Hommy. Those are the 3 albums this
I
week.
know exactly what order we should go in.
I know what order I want to go in.
Go ahead.
I want to go Rhapsody first, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
That's my least favorite of the 3.
Who do you want to put last?
Mach-Hommy.
Nah, I want to put Vince Staples last.
There's
It's
no
gonna
way
be-
you like that better than the Mach-Hommy
It's
album.
it's going to be the most debated one. That's why. But all
I mean,
right,
yeah, that's
let's
for
get
sure. If
it.
you like it better than the Mach-Hommy one, that's for sure. Because that's
Let's
cap.
get it. All right.
All right, Rhapsody. Let's hear you. You go first.
Me?
I'll go first if you want. I got some notes here.
No,
I got some tracks
I
that
can
I
go
like
first too. I don't know. I have a lot here, so it don't
on
matter.
this album specifically.
On
You
all
do?
these albums. No, I don't have a lot on this one. I mean, a little bit, sure, yeah.
Okay, Rhapsody. Have you ever listened to a Rhapsody album before? Front
No,
to
and
back.
she's been around for ever. You know what
Yeah, I
I'm
know
saying?
the
But
name.
I've never, yeah, of course, you know the name, but I've never intentionally really listened. Obviously, again, like we said, we're new. We're
Yeah.
newbies, all right? So give us some slack, but go ahead.
Okay, Rhapsody. Okay, her voice, like her flow, her delivery, like when I'm listening to it, it seems like she doesn't have to try. Like it is effortless sounding, great flow, great delivery, but and like the production on this album is more like musical. There's like instruments and like actual music happening. It's not like modern trap music production by any means. There's a lot of songs though that are like really slow and like almost too slow where I'm kind of bored. There's like not a lot of actual rap songs on the album, but when there are actual
I
rap
don't really get
songs,
that take. I don't really get
there's
that
not
take.
many
They're like
rap
all
songs.
rap songs. What do you mean?
Dude, it's like
It's a
all
rap
singing
album.
R. I was
Dude,
surprised that
no.
this is labeled a rap album. I don't think it should
It's
be labeled a
what?
rap album.
It's like 75% rapping on the whole album.
No, I would say like 40.
What? Did we listen to the same album?
Yeah, I
All
think
right,
so.
okay. All right.
I just feel like it's super high quality production, but it's like slow and musical, and like a lot of the songs were like way too slow for me. There's like no upbeatness at all in the whole album.
That's interesting because the one major knock I had is that there was some interesting mixing choices on there for me.
The
I
Lil
didn't
Wayne song is ass cheeks, bro.
right.
What is that audio
You
mixing
just
on the
said it
Lil
had
Wayne
great
verse?
production. I'm saying I don't think it
Minus
really.
that song.
I don't know. There was a few interesting mixing and production choices on there, and I feel like there was a few too many songs. Right, there was a few filler
Yeah.
songs, but in my opinion, it was a great mix of bars and vocal performance in terms of like singing. You know what I'm saying? There were some solid features with a Lil Wayne, which I wish was better produced,
What is up
but
with that?
it was weird, right? It was
It
weird.
sounded like she like got his
Sounded like
recording
he
like
was
from the bottom of the
underwater or
ocean.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like what
And
the fuck?
he's
But
spitting. I was like, dude, this Lil Wayne mixing is fucked. That's a
maybe
shame
there's
because he's
something
spitting
wrong
on it.
with it or something that'll be fixed in the future. Like I don't know if I was tripping or what, but I'll
I
call it
hope
a
so.
solid feature for now because lyrically and it was a good feature. But and then you
Lyrically,
got
yeah, it
Erica
was.
Badu on there. You got a good mix of like braggadocious bars, her talking her shit on like a black pop star or a diary of
Yeah.
a mad bitch, and a mix of that and some thoughtful bars on like or like more vulnerable on something like a faith. You know what I'm saying? And you got some just vibe songs on something like a D&D. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was a really great mix of sound. Which I really appreciated, and she was flowing on the whole thing. She really was rapping, like you said, really effortlessly. It felt like, and there was some good beat selection, but again, I just felt like some of the mixing was off.
I think if every song on this album was like a rap song, like I would have liked every song. Like when she had a rap song, like Asteroids, Black Pop Star, Back in My Bag, like I fuck with
I don't
those
get
songs.
that because they're
I did
rap
not think
songs.
there
They're
was
just
enough
not like
rap in here.
trap rap. Like there's definitely
I think it's
majority
more
rap
like
song.
spoken word, if anything. It's not even really rap though. They're like so slowed down.
Huh?
It's like
Nah, you're
so
tripping.
slow to me. No, bro. I didn't.
I think you're tripping, but I don't know. I guess give me a couple of your favorite songs if your dog's not barking.
I was just surprised it was labeled a rap album, but like Asteroids.
Why you keep saying that, dude?
I just
Stop
really
saying
was.
that.
I was like, this is
It's a rap album. Yes, it is, dude.
When I listened to it, I did not think this
Okay,
was a
well,
rap
stop
album.
saying that.
Well, it ain't a rap
And it's a rap album, bro. Stop saying. Go back and listen, bro.
I
Why
listened
do
to
you
this album
say that?
twice.
It's a rap album. She's
Asteroids
rapping
is
on
my-
every song. How is
Asteroids-
how
no.
if there's a rap verse on almost every song, 95%
I don't
of
think
the
there
songs.
is. I think you're misremembering. There's
Nah,
20-something songs on here, bro.
There's 17 songs, bro.
Oh, okay. What album am I thinking of? Does the Mach-Hommy have that many songs? Maybe it
Let me
does,
look.
but
No, it doesn't. No album we listen to has 27. Or
no, not
21.
27. 20.
Not 21.
Yeah, they do. We listen.
Let me look.
I don't remember the number, but Asteroids, Black Pop Star, Back in My Bag. Like when
Okay,
she's
this does have.
rapping,
You're right. It's 22.
yeah. Like when she's rapping, like I'm into it. I
And
really
that
like it. But then a lot of the songs were just like way too slow for my
sure
liking, and I got bored with them.
that was my that was one of my gripes with it was that there was a bit of filler. But I don't know what your thing is with not rapping. She's rapping on every song. But all right, let's move on.
Well, we gotta put it on. I need a number score from you first, and then we have to put it on the tier
Well,
list.
yeah, I'm saying let's move on from the conversation though. Well, did you give a couple of your favorite songs? We got a couple of favorite
Multiple
songs.
times. Yep.
Okay, well, I got a couple of mine. You didn't ask me. Mine are "Look What You Done," D&D, "Raw," and "Back in My Bag." She really spitting the whole time, and I
You didn't
thought there
like
was.
Asteroids?
Yeah, I did. I liked a
Okay.
lot of the songs on here. I thought it was a good album, and again, I thought there was a good mix in lyrical content, not only like sound, but you got her talking about being real braggadocious. Talk about she says, feel like a Cadillac, nothing but classics. You know what I'm saying? Really bragging. And then she's talking about like the struggle in some other songs. Talk about crying over the depths of like Dolph and a Nipsey Hussle and shit like that. So it was a good variety, bro. And it's
Nipsey got a
definitely
couple of
rapping. So I
Nipsey
don't
got a
know.
couple shout outs on this album, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly, like multiple tracks.
I think he got one on the RICHAXXHAITIan.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I know I heard Nipsey's name a
Or
bunch
maybe
listening to
Vince.
music.
Maybe Vince. But yeah, I'm with you.
Well, I'm at like a 6.5 out of 10, I think, on this album overall.
I would probably
like
give it like a 7.5. I'm
because
like,
the songs I liked, I really liked, and she was sliding. But
I
a
would
lot of
say
the
I'm a
songs I didn't like.
7.75.
Okay, so where are you at on the tier list then?
Wow. This is hard, dude. This is getting so hard. Well, first, can we okay. Should we like kind of fix this first?
No, we'll do that at the end.
Okay. Well, all right. Let's see. This should be wow. I would say fuck, man. This is hard. Probably fuck. I would say right below. Nah, I would say below four bats. Probably maybe in front of Joyner, right behind Joyner, maybe.
Up here,
Yeah, that's where I would put it.
damn, bro.
Might be good, not great though. We're
That's definitely where I'm at.
okay. So let's. Okay, hold on. So we can either bump it to the back of a few misses or to the front of good, not great.
I'm cool with putting it in this row.
Few
I just feel
misses.
like there's a lot of filler though. There's
Yeah,
like
there
more
is.
than a few misses. That's the thing. It's
Yep.
not like a concise project. But I'm not mad. Like it is a good album. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah, that might be a good point, but then you can kind of say the same thing for the Gunna album, though. It's kind of leaks too long, right? So I don't know. I'm cool with where it is right now.
All right.
To be honest with
There
you.
you go. So you want to do Mach-Hommy next then?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I'll go first if you want, or you can. Up to
it
you.
don't matter. Don't
Alright.
matter.
Mach-Hommy album. Complex, diverse production. There's like a lot of crazy ass production. There's like some gritty, more hip hop shit. There's some soulful shit. You can like hear, like he's literally Haitian, right? Like you can hear
Yeah,
the Haitian like tribal almost influences in some of the production. Like I liked a lot of it. It was more like grimy and hip hop even than I was expecting it to be. I was like, oh, these beats like go really hard. And like yeah, my second note is also on the beats. Like, damn, there's really good beats on here. I really like the beat selection. Gorgon Zolan, that one song, it's only like 56 seconds long.
yeah,
That needed to be longer because that song was fucking banging and then it ended. I
yeah.
was like, bro, this song's gas. Why is it over in 60 seconds? I was kind of bummed about that. And a lot of the features are like people that you don't know, or maybe you wouldn't know unless you're like really into the hip hop space. But all the features I felt like on this album were like really coming hard and straight spitting on this
Amazing,
album.
amazing.
Like all the features were just like going so hard. And then some of my favorite songs, Antonomasia, I guess I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah,
Padon or Padon, the Gorgonzola Land, which it's only a minute. Like that could be a 4-minute song. That shit was fire. And The Serpent and the Rainbow is probably my favorite song on the
Me
album.
too, dude. It's so good, right?
That's
Serpent
my
and the
number
Rainbow
one.
might be the best song of the year. I'm not even gonna hold you.
I think that's my number one. And
It's
then
so good.
probably Paid On or Pad On, number two. I don't know how to pronounce these songs, but
Yeah,
they're
they're
fire. Like,
right. We're
it's a
white.
good album.
We're white as fuck. So
I really liked it though. Like, this album was a surprise to me how much I liked it. Like, it was good.
yeah, no, it was amazing. And
Yeah.
I guess I'll go on to say this. It's one of my favorite releases of the year. Um, you got him paying homage to Haiti throughout the whole thing, really getting deep, really getting thoughtful with it of the problems that are happening in Haiti throughout the project, and his thoughts kind of throughout it. Um,
And
on
like
it,
I said, you get the Haiti vibes in the production
yeah.
too. Like, you
And
really do.
not only do you get the deep conscious, thoughts and the thought provoking raps throughout the whole project, but it's consumable and it's enjoyable to listen to because he's spitting. Mach-Hommy is spitting on every
Yeah.
song. He does not miss a single verse on this whole album, and
No.
it's almost unhuman the way he's rapping on this. But yeah, like I said, I really appreciate that he paid homage to Haiti and honored it throughout the whole album and made it sound good and really talked about like the dark reality and change that needs to be made in a consumable way because that's hard to do for sure. And like I said, he's got insane flows on the whole album on songs like Sanji.
I left that off my favorites, but that was an honorable mention for
Yeah,
sure.
so good, dude. So
Yeah.
good. Him floating. The
Yeah.
Serpent, Rich Ass Haitian, he's floating on too. The production, like you said, I thought was immaculate. Conductor, production on
Conductor
it.
all over this, yeah.
Yeah, Rich Ass Haitian was also producing a lot of his own shit, I believe. Or Rich Ass Haitian. Fucking
Yeah.
Mach-Hommy was also producing a lot of his own shit, I believe. But great beat selection, great production throughout the whole thing. The production on The Serpent and the Rainbow was insane, dude. Crazy, bro. Like the
Really good
the
album.
the just the intricate little shit that you hear in like the back of your ears and shit that's going on in the back of the beat is just it's crazy. The features, like you said, probably the best features of the year.
Yeah,
Um,
I would say. Especially for
Rock
people not as well known, like they were spitting.
You got Rock Marcy going crazy on Antonomasia, however you want to say it. You got Euro Drew going crazy on Empty Spaces. Black Thought, one of the most lyrically talented rappers to ever touch a mic on Copy Code, going crazy next to Mach-Hommy, and more. So the feature game is crazy. Probably maybe the best features of the year if we're
I might
talking
agree with
about
that.
one album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah. I was
what?
gonna say, what do you got out of 10? What do you grade the album before we put it on the list? Because I got a
Well,
pretty high score for this.
a few of my favorite songs, real quick: Sanji, Empty Spaces, Gorgon, Serpent, Antonomasia. Those are like my favorite songs. And
So you had Gorgon too.
yeah, one
Even
of
though it's
the
only 60 seconds. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, that is kind of crazy.
I
And
needed that longer.
one of the bars he says on here says, "You was gassing, now I'm about to demonstrate a blowout," and that's really what he did because this is like a 9. This is like a
I,
9,
I'm at
9.5
8.7.
album,
I'm
dude.
at 8.75.
This is so good.
I was tempted to go to 9, but I figured I'll stick at 8.75.
I'm at like flat 9.
I really liked it. I'm not mad at 9. Like, I was tempted to go 9.
This is going to be interesting now. This is going to get interesting now.
Yeah, where does it go? We can't put it at perfect, though, can we?
This is a perfect album, dude.
You really want to put it up there?
It's a perfect album. Tell me why it's not. Explain why it's not.
I think we put it up here, then. Because I'm not opposed to it.
Exactly.
I thought there was no way you would let me put it up there.
There's no argument to be made that it's not, dude.
It's so good, actually, though.
Like
It really is great.
I just broke down to like 20 reasons why I thought it was amazing. Give me one reason why it's not good. I don't think I can't
because
think of one
Gorgon's
reason.
only 60 seconds.
Right, because it's not longer. I mean, he
Yeah.
made this was the 17 tracks. He made 17 tracks feel like 12, dude. You know what I'm saying?
It's a really fun listen too. Like it's
Great.
not like it's not only really good, but it's like enjoyable.
Is it
and
better
fun.
than Might Delete Later?
Yeah, we're moving that.
Wait, you think it's better than Might Delete Later? Okay. Well, then you should have just. Well, let's talk about it now because that's where it's going. Shit, I don't know. Is it?
I think it's better than
Yeah.
Might Delete Later.
Fuck.
I think we move Might Delete Later down
Yeah.
one.
No, I would leave it in the same row, but I think
You
it's.
think?
Yeah. We'll okay. Don't do anything crazy now. We'll just wait a minute. We still got one more. We got one
All
more
right.
album to go here. All right.
Well, there
That's
you
where it's going
go.
for now.
Mach-Hommy, Rich Ass Haitian joining We Don't Trust You and Might Delete Later in the perfect album tier.
This
That's
really is.
unexpected.
That's awesome.
That was unexpected. I was not.
Such an amazing album, dude. Really.
It really was. Like, I loved it. What I didn't really love is the next album we're going to talk about, which is Vince Staples' Dark Time. Okay. It's 35 minutes
hold
long.
on. This is Vince Staples' Dark Times. This is his first, or is it? Okay, wait. Is it his first off of Def Jam or his last on Def Jam? Or
I don't know.
We'll just say this. I think I believe it's his last album on his label because they were like taking advantage of him and shit. So
makes sense. They do that.
I'm pretty sure we talked about it on the show a while back, but so we got this. My point is it's in a pretty important album to him, and you can kind of see that throughout. But go ahead. You give your take first.
The thing is, like, I can tell it's like deep and meaningful, but like that doesn't mean it's a high scoring album for me. It's almost like
fair.
Too meaningful and deep. Like, I want some high energy like raps and not all like the deep, sad, meaningful shit. And I get that it's meaningful, but it just isn't a fun listen to me. And it's only 35 minutes and I was like ready for it to be over.
Oh my god.
It's like lo-fi chill production. Like, it really is like lo-fi, like super mellow and chill production throughout the whole thing. There's no bad songs on the project. There's not one bad song. Every song is good.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to use the word good, but like not one song stood out to me like I need to put this on my playlist.
Really? I disagree.
Like, that was my problem with it. I think every song is good and listenable, and it's a perfect, like, background music album. But no song was like, I need this on my playlist. I liked Shame on the Devil. I liked Etufe, or however you pronounce that. I liked Little Homies. I liked a couple of the songs on there, but none of them I'm, like, excited to go back and re-listen to. I didn't hate it. I just wanted more. Like, I was bored with it overall. That's just how I felt about it.
I'm gonna be honest, that's a bad take for me because I liked it a lot. Throughout you get the deep, thoughtful lyrics.
That's all you get, though.
No, it's not.
There's no upbeat bangers.
Yes, there is, because like you said, the Etufe is upbeat. You got songs that you can kick back, put on your playlist, and just drive around to. Like you're thinking that there's not, but you got a Etufe, you got a Justin on the album, which is a vibe.
Justin's my least favorite song.
But it is a vibe though. It's not like it's something you can play on the radio, and it's one of my favorites, to be honest, on the album. But throughout the album, you got his deep, thoughtful lyrics all the way throughout, talking about the battling with depression. He says, and being a product of his environment throughout the whole album. Is really introspective in songs like Government Cheese, explaining that it's hard to, be the only one in your family succeeding when you watching everybody else around you struggle. Shame on the Devil, song. Asking God for forgiveness, saying how he's imperfect in his life and he's beefing with some of his closest friends. You know what I'm saying?
That's the lead single on this, I believe. Shame on the Devil.
Yeah, I think so.
Like that was lead single.
Yeah,
it didn't come out before, but that's technically
which is great. And meanwhile, while he's getting really deep and thoughtful with it and heart-touching throughout the whole album, he's flowing. And the production is amazing. It's like almost perfect. If we want to talk about a production on something like this compared to like the Rhapsody, it's not close. Like, the production on this is so good. And
I take Rhapsody production over this by a lot.
Bro, no way. No way.
This just was so boring to me, man. I'm surprised.
No
I'm like genuinely surprised that you like this.
Nah, bro. I mean, it's just, I thought it was a great first listen. I thought it was one of the best first listens of the year, I'm gonna be honest. Because he was floating. He's rapping.
Probably my least
bro, he's rapping on the whole thing. And if you listen, he's telling stories about, and he's like actually rapping. You know what I'm saying? It's not like some bullshit about some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. I like it a lot, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm at like my favorite songs are Black and Blue, Shame on the Devil, Etoof, Justin. And at the same time, like you said, he doesn't like it's too down low. There is inspiring songs in something like a Lil Homies. You know what I'm saying?
I like Lil Homies a
So
lot.
I don't know. I don't really see validity in your argument there, but
There's no song on here that I'm gonna go back and bump like for
there's
fun.
definitely, bro. It's Ufe. You kidding me? Lil
That
Homies?
it would
Those
be
are
that and
great
Lil Homie.
songs,
Those are the
dude.
two. Those are
Yeah,
the two.
but okay. How many
And
songs are
like
you going
I
back to
didn't
read?
I didn't dislike any of the songs. I just
That's the
nothing
thing.
stood out to me and like grabbed my attention though. Really, it just I don't know. Maybe it's just
Fair
not my
enough.
vibe.
Yeah,
But
fair enough.
I didn't not like it though. That's the thing. I just wasn't
I'm
excited
be
by
honest
it.
though. I would give this like a. I'm at like a 8.7, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
That is
8.5.
crazy to me, bro. That I'm at a 6.5.
Dude, no way, bro.
Yeah. So I mean that averages out to a 7.5.
Oh my god, bro. What are you doing? All right, pull it up.
I feel like that's man. I am so surprised that you actually like this. I really did not think you would.
How, dude? It's one like, bro. What are you listening to? I
And
feel
I
like we
listened to this
listened to.
twice.
I feel like we listened to two different albums with these last two with Rhapsody and Vince.
And I
But
listened to the Vince Staples one twice because it was only 35 minutes. Like I could
to
get
me, this
through it.
is above American Dream, bro.
I'm fine with putting it in a few misses.
I think it's almost perfect. I think it could go perfect realistically, but I don't know. Like, we need to move the shit around. That's the
Yeah,
thing right now.
that's what we're gonna do next. After I'm gonna put it
But
above
actually,
Gunna's album for now, behind American Dream, and then we can rearrange this list.
I think
That's only one spot.
I think
back from what you said.
initially we put it in almost perfect. I think we have to just to be fair. We have to. Just to make me feel
I
good.
don't agree.
I will say this: the album art is fucking ass. But all right,
Well, there you go. Rhapsody, Mach-Hommy, Vince Staples, 3 albums, lots of different vibes this week. So
great albums, dude. A couple of my
And-
favorite albums of the year.
next week maybe we'll have an Eminem album to review. So stay tuned. And if we missed any albums, let us know and we'll get to them because we're always looking
Yeah,
for
we
new
did.
albums to review. And clearly we don't agree on everything, so that's why it's fun.
Yeah,
You know, if we just liked all the same albums, it'd be pretty pointless.
obviously. Fuck.
But yeah, Vince Staples. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but
I really liked it a lot. But that Mach-Hommy joint, woo,
that's the one.
that might be the one.
That's the one, bro. Out of these 3, that's the one. But okay. Those are the album reviews. Let's pull up the tier list for the year so far and see if let's do some rearranging and get this more
Yeah.
dialed
Yeah,
in
let's
now that
do
we
it.
have a lot of albums on the list.
All right, so first things first. What's the biggest standout to you as like this needs
to move. Vultures.
Yeah, 100%. Right. It needs to go down to like American Dream.
Yep, at least.
Right there. I would leave it there. All right. I would probably drag back 2093.
Drag it back to where?
I would say behind We Still Don't Trust You. Maybe a few misses. Maybe top a few misses because you weren't in love with it, so probably top a few misses.
Okay.
What else?
Lil Sims, we're moving down, right?
Yeah, I feel like the Lil Sims album just doesn't really hold up when I go back and listen to it. How do you feel?
I feel like right there, below American Dream, but not far.
Yeah. That looks about right.
Should we move Gunna down?
I think we should focus on moving a couple people up here.
Like,
I think Slant Face Killer needs to go up above. Yeah, right there. And maybe Marciology in front of 2093. Maybe. Is Slant Face Killer almost perfect?
I think we might
Maybe
be
not,
biased
right?
there.
Yeah, okay. We'll leave it there. What else? What else?
I'm almost ready to move Vultures below American Dream.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. Nina. Like, there's just better songs, I feel like, on American Dream.
4 Bats I'm fine with being here. Joyner's album was actually really good, but it's better than Gunna. It's better than 4 Bats.
Benny's better than both of them, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I might even put Gunna below Lyrical Lemonade.
Yeah, I think I would. Because there's a lot of Lyrical Lemonade songs I go back to right now.
Yeah, that
Doomsday Part 2.
Yeah, there's good tracks on there. Say My Grace, there's good stuff.
Say My Grace. Yeah, there's a few good songs on there.
Okay, I'm just looking through the bottom a little bit here.
Bro. Bro.
French Montana, we moved down.
No.
Genre Sad Boy, we moved down.
Nah. I think maybe genre sad boy French. Nah.
Okay, Fabio though.
No, because it wasn't that bad. No. Honestly, 5 might actually be able to move up. But honestly, that's the thing about these next two. And Robophobia wasn't that bad. As if I remember, it wasn't like that bad, but maybe it was to be down there. I remember not loving the Quedeca project, which I mean, to each his own. Obviously, it's experimental, no hate.
I mean, it's
But
it's the fourth worst album on our list. It should be
right.
above French Montana, probably. Who knows?
I don't know about that, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, I didn't really love either one of them, so I'm not opposed
Yeah,
either
I
way.
think leave it that way. What about that good not great column row?
That's the one I was kind of looking at. I'd say Dirty Nachos above It's Us Volume 1. Maybe not. It's Us Volume 1 was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Honestly, Texas Tech was honestly that row doesn't look bad. What
I
is
mean,
that album? That's the Blade album to the right, right? I think that Melly might have to go above that Blade joint. Yeah.
yeah, I think Something Ether stays above Melly, personally.
Yeah. Not above Hit Boy though, right?
No, I'd say that's good there. I like the BK Rula project
Yeah,
a lot.
I think that's good there. It might be able to go up a little, but
Which one?
BK the Ruler?
Like above Tyla, maybe?
Like, do you still
I
listen
might
to
even put it
Texas
above
Tech?
Dirty Nachos. No, I
Right.
don't.
I haven't really went back to Texas Tech either. But I haven't went back to a lot of these albums in this row.
Let's put that right above Something Ether.
Yeah, I think Something Ether might have to go up, be honest with you. I think it has to go up to like below Tyla.
Okay, I like that.
I think that's
I
what I'm
like that
looking at.
album. I mean, the EP, whatever you want to call it.
And then the top rows look good to you? I think they look good to me. Might Delete Later is a perfect album, bro. I'm sorry. It just is.
Trying to think here. Yeah, we needed to get Vultures out of there.
Yeah, it looks a lot better with the Vultures out of there. I'm not going to lie, dude. It was definitely weighing us down. And it seems a bit more weighed down. And I think, bro, I think that Vince has to go up. But, yep. And to be honest, I think We Still Don't Trust You might have to go above that Tierra. But that's just me.
Nah.
That's just me. It's so good, dude. There's so many great songs on there. So many songs you want to re-listen to, but Crazy Clientele, dude, is almost better than the whole Tierra joint. But listen. No,
if
hey.
you don't think the Tierra joint is better than the Vince one, you're deaf, bro.
I'd have to re-listen probably because I did like the Tierra joint, but the Vince one's probably better, to be honest.
Cap.
I would almost bet on it.
I don't think there's nothing egregious here now.
No.
That I can see.
No, Vultures was pretty egregious.
That was the one. It just doesn't
2093 was a bit egregious because we just didn't visit since we placed them. And that's a big thing with this list is like, I mean, replay value and, shit coming back to your playlist plays a big role in how much it ends up, you end up liking it. So this is where we're at now.
Well, we can always keep making changes, but there we go. We're locked in for now. I feel a little bit better about where we're standing now.
Me too. I feel
I'm
great.
still bumping
honestly.
like Burn and Carnival and Back to Me, but besides those three tracks, I'm just not.
I'm honestly not.
I'm not listening to Carnival. I'm listening to Back to Me and Burn. Really, Carnival. Yeah. If it comes on, I skip it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was great.
Burn I like, and Back to Me I love. Like Back to Me is the song. Fuck Carnival. Yeah. Back to Me is the best song, and Burn is fire. But Carnival, I'm over it.
Right.
Just didn't hold up. But there you go.
That's where we're at now.
We had a lot this week. We ran over 90 minutes, and all we did was review lists and give our reviews on albums. So maybe next week we'll have more news topics. But
yeah,
the Apple list was important. We had to go through it. We had to talk about the hip-hop albums. Is there any album next week that we're reviewing? Or is it possibly the Eminem?
Because I was going to look.
Because I know there's some stuff coming up. Like, there's still
Eminem's rumored to drop, so...
Yeah, I think that might be the album coming next Friday. Like, that's kind of how he implied it. If it's a lead single, I'd be surprised. I think we're getting the album on Friday. Like, that's my process going into this. Like, I think next week we review the Eminem album.
Sexy Red dropped this week.
If it's a slow week, we can try, but I don't know if I can make it through that.
It says Eminem's supposed to be dropping next week.
Okay, well,
And then we got Ski Mask the Slump God. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Homicide Gang.
All right. Well,
DaBaby, Lil Durk, and NBA YoungBoy are still supposed to drop this month, but I doubt it.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll focus on Eminem and Ski Mask the Slump God basically. Actually, did we miss anything from last week?
Nope.
You sure?
We're caught up now. Yep.
All right.
Well, if there's any albums that we haven't reviewed yet, like I said, if you want us to review them, leave a comment. We will get to them. But in the meantime, press subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on Apple or Spotify, hit follow or whatever you guys got going on. Leave a review. Show some love. We're here every week. We're reviewing all the new albums. So we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yep.
Actually, we'll see you next Monday. We're putting out episodes a whole day earlier now. Not even used to that yet. So episodes out on Monday. The quicker we can get them out, the better. Subscribe, show love. That's all I got.
Yep, that's it. Peace.
All right. Deuces.
It's Off the Top Podcast. Got you laughing like you hit the gas pack. Show is crazy like you watching Mad Max. Every other podcast is mad whack. Off the Top Podcast.